Hi, this is Garrett with Hydra-Test, and just wanted to talk a little bit about our transmission dyno upgrade we did for Jennings with this dyno controller console that we designed. So this console is running a 46RE transmission automatically through a pre-written script, basically controlling the dyno speed, load, and then shifting the transmission. So this is a relatively simple unit. Control governor pressure and then an overdrive and lockup solenoid to shift it through the different gears, but while we're doing that, we're continuously recording all of the data to chart in a graph so that the operator can compare a pre-recorded one of a known good transmission with the one that he's testing. So the console also has a PLC and some gauges on it to kind of monitor a little bit of what's going on. The PLC basically just sits between our software, the dyno, and the console to kind of keep an eye on what's going on and alert them to anything, like if they have the e-stop or power turned off to the transmission. You can see at the end of the test here we ran a pretty good load on it. The eddy current is, you can see the heat coming off of it, so it was loaded pretty well. Here are the results, and I want to point out a couple things here. There's kind of two lines we're looking at here. This is probably about the middle of our graph. We did 3 sets of gear shifts up and down. The green line is the input speed, and that would be held relatively constant. You can see each time there's a gear shift, the speed does drop a little bit, but then the dyno recovers. Same thing on a downshift, it goes up a little bit, but then the dyno recovers. And so what the operator would be looking at is, on a comparison test, is this gray line, which is the output speeds. You can see each gear shift from first to second to third to fourth to lockup and then coming back down. So problems with the transmission, you would notice these graphs would look very different from this. So our software allows them to compare a known good versus the current one that they're testing or have just tested, and gives them the ability to very easily see, are they the same, are they not. And usually in a case like this on a dyno, if you have issues, you will notice it very, very quickly that the lines don't match, or if it has an issue where it's falling out of lockup or doing weird things in fourth gear, you know, these graphs will drop off quite a bit. So we had one unit that did that and was very, very apparent. And then here's running a 4L60, so another simpler transmission, but same thing, runs it through an automated test, allows them to just put the transmission on, run it from start to finish, and then look at the results and compare them with a known good that we recorded earlier in the day. And again, you can see there's the just the manual gauges and all the controls, so they can actually run this manually if they wanted to, not even use the computer in the event that they needed to. But it's also just some kind of extra visual indications. A lot of it is just telling you what state it's in. We have the dyno on forward, reverse rotation, what our loading is, what our speed is, whether they have the transmission power turned on and off, which is an important thing. We don't leave the transmission power on all the time. It's only when we're running the test. And that's basically it with our control console. So just kind of a brief overview, just to let you see it running. And yeah, there it is, running this probably 20-year-old Axiline.